Y'all, welcome back to the final episode of the Partners of Commercial Fishermen podcast before we do the rebrand. This is part 9 of the POCF Origin series, the final episode under this name, and it's a celebration of the stories that sparked a women's movement in commercial fishing and the community that grew because of you. I'm your host, Megan Waldrep, and as you know, today is a big one. And if you're just joining us, you've come at the best time. This is the big celebration, the big hug, the big crescendo, the big love letter of being the Partners of Commercial Fishermen. We started this 2019, and it's grown from one blog post called 9 Things to Know When Dating a Commercial Fisherman into a worldwide community from women all over the world, from Australia, New Zealand, the UK, Canada, all parts of the US, women saying that they understand, they totally get this lifestyle and that we are not alone. And it has changed my life in deep, profound ways that I can never express. And it has been such an honor to be here to create space for us. But really, it would not be a community if it wasn't for the women who were so open to share their hearts and their stories with us along the way. And so, in honor of writing and reading the 9 Things to Know When Dating a Commercial Fisherman, as I said, this is part 9. Every week we have discussed each part in depth. I've gone behind the scenes stories of what this inspired this post. Also, each part, what lessons were shared, what experiences were had that actually made these parts come to life. And so instead of going straight into number 9 of the 9 things you should know when dating a commercial fisherman, I'm going to read the whole thing so we can celebrate each step along the way, because it really is a culmination of everything that we've learned, everything that we've done since 2019 for 6 years as a part of this community. It's been one of the greatest joys and privileges of my life, and I thank you so much for that. So here we go. 9 things you should know when dating a commercial fisherman. My fisherman, Chris, and I started dating almost 10 years ago, and at the time I had no idea how involved commercial fishing would be, physically, mentally, and emotionally for both of us. Below are a few things I've learned along the way. A few insights that may help if you find yourself in love with a commercial fisherman. Number 1, when you date a commercial fisherman, you're introduced to a world you never knew existed. You'll learn that people travel long distances in gnarly summer weather in big expensive boats with lots of expensive gear with big old expensive permits to legally fish each season. You can't quite wrap your head around it when they explain their profession to you. But then your head explodes when you learn that their sister does it too. When you date a commercial fisherman, you'll eat the freshest seafood you've ever had. Canned, smoked, frozen salmon directly from your lover's hand straight to your plate. You'll happily pay more for wild-caught seafood at the grocery store because you know there's a face behind each catch. You'll become more aware of the environment and may even become an advocate to help save our seas. Number 3, when you date a commercial fisherman, you'll learn more about boat parts, engines, and stuff you couldn't care less about. You'll go to dinner with his friends and struggle to stay awake when the conversations only revolve around fishing and other fishermen they know. You'll show support with a polite smile and nod, all the while secretly dying of boredom. You'll fight the urge to grab your phone, to scroll through Instagram, and wish the subject would turn to art, pop culture, or books or something, anything you can relate to. When you date a commercial fisherman, some of those previous conversations actually sink in. You'll learn that over 80% of seafood consumed in the US is imported. And you'll rethink every seafood dish on the menu, asking if fish is caught locally. You'll learn that Asia is the biggest consumer of seafood in America, buying over $1 billion's worth, that's with a B, in 1 year. You'll learn that you'll hope that the Asian economy stays strong and won't tell anyone that part of you roots for the other team. When you date a commercial fisherman, you'll miss them a lot, especially when they fish for salmon in Alaska for 3 months out of the year. You'll miss them even more when 2 months after they get back, they decide to fish for sea cucumbers, because apparently that's a thing. But instead of fishing from the deck of a boat, they'll dive up to 60 feet in 40-degree water in full-on scuba gear. You'll continue to pray for a white light of protection to surround them for yet another season. Number 6, when you date a commercial fisherman, you'll resist calling the Coast Guard when you haven't heard from them in 2 weeks. You'll remind yourself that they're working off the grid and will call you when they can. They're fine, you think. No need to worry, you'll say. Then you'll see a commercial for Deadliest Catch and the worrying starts all over again. You'll emotionally slug through days of no communication. Then your heart jumps to your throat when you receive a text that says, "Just found a little bit of signal. I love you and I miss you so much." When you date a commercial fisherman, each season, each reunion after a long season gives you that butterflies in the stomach feeling you had on the first day you met. You'll notice their faces are a bit scruffier, their hair is a bit longer, and their hands are scarred from nets and traps. You'll admire their body, more defined and muscular than the last time you saw them. You'll realize that manual labor pays off for you both in more ways than one. Number 8, when you date a commercial fisherman, you'll wonder why they go through all the trouble for this kind of work, especially since they won't know how much they'll get paid until the end of the season. It's such a gamble, you think. Why put yourself in an uncertain position, you'll say. Then you'll remember you're a freelance writer and you essentially do the same. And number 9, when you date a commercial fisherman, you'll slowly appreciate the fishing stories more. At dinners with friends, you'll start to engage in conversations and ask questions with genuine interest. You'll forget about grabbing your phone to scroll through Instagram and search for their hand to hold under their table instead. Oh, man. That part, you'll forget about grabbing your phone to scroll through Instagram and search for their hand to hold under the table instead. Man, that really feels like such a full circle moment of what it's like to be with a fisherman. Because you go through these moments of, what are you doing? What the F am I putting myself through? Why are you doing this? And then you realize you're such a bigger part of the picture. Like, you're such an essential part of this whole thing operating the way it needs to. And when I first wrote that blog post, 9 Things to Know, when dating a commercial fisherman, I never imagined women from all over the world would reach out, that you would open your hearts and tell me your stories, and that we would build something together. How much time do you spend worrying about what could happen out there? What could happen in the unpredictable nature of the ocean? We spend so much energy worrying about the people we love when they're on the water. And that's why having the right safety gear matters. Kent Safety Products makes Coast Guard approved PFDs and flotation gear trusted by commercial fishing families for generations. It's comfortable, durable, and made for real life on the water, from the fishing grounds to family boating days. Because when we trust the gear that keeps them safe, we can spend less energy worrying and more time enjoying the moments that matter. Visit KentSafetyProducts.com to find the right gear for your crew. That's KentSafetyProducts.com. We created a women's movement in the commercial fishing industry, y'all. We created a safe space, a place to land, and a space to breathe and say, "Me too, I totally get it." And over the years, I learned that your stories and our stories matter deeply. Because behind every fisherman is someone keeping the home fires burning, balancing the books and the emotions, praying for safety while holding down the fort, and building a life with someone who risks everything. And in that sense, you're risking everything for love. And the thing is, partners of commercial fishermen aren't behind the scenes. You are the backbone. You carry the invisible weight. You hold together what many will never understand. And here's what I hope you never forget. You're not alone in this life. You are stronger than you know. Your love is your courage. Your waiting is your strength. And your story gives others hope. Oh, this community, I can't say enough. It will always remain a part of who I am and a part of who we are. And while this is the final episode under the Partners of Commercial Fisherman name, just know that our connection doesn't end here. Our journey doesn't end here. And our conversations don't end here. Because something new is coming, And it's born from everything that we've lived and learned together. Oh, just gonna take a moment. I truly appreciate y'all more than you'll ever know. And I know I say it all the time, but it's been such an honor to serve you. And I so appreciate all the lessons that you've taught me about the strength and resilience and love. And we're going to continue these conversations because those are all born from the strong women that we are inside before we are anyone other than our deep, true selves, before we are a wife, a partner, a mom, a daughter, a sister, a friend. I want to talk about those stories that are true and deep and real for us as women. And that's why on January 7th, this podcast becomes the Megan Waldrep Podcast, a place to be, no pressure to fix yourself, just good company, honest talk, and a space to feel like yourself again, with reminders to trust your inner guide and reconnect to who you are and what you already know is true. I want us to know that we have each other, that we have a space to call our own. It's going to be a beautiful break in the week to really be like, yeah, okay, I'm with people who get me. I understand this. This is my community. Because sometimes the most healing thing you can do is take a break, tune in, and remember that you're already doing better than you think. The podcast name is going to change, but the connection's going to stay and the journey evolves together. Let's walk alongside each other through it. And to every partner, spouse, girlfriend, boyfriend, family member, and friend who has loved a fisherman, thank you. Thank you for your courage. Thank you for your tenderness. And thank you for showing up again and again. And thank you for letting me be a part of your story. And thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of mine. This isn't goodbye. This is a continuation of something that we've built together. And to help support you through those unpredictable days, whether you're on or off the water, whether you're going through a transition, whether you're feeling stuck or stagnant or feeling like nobody understands you, I get you. I see you. You are not alone. That's why I created the Calm Compass. It's my free guide with breathwork techniques and simple check-ins you can do to really ground yourself and come back to who you are, into that steady ground, to help feel more clear as you move forward in whatever it is you're doing. Your heart deserves those steady moments and you deserve those steady moments. You can find the link in the show notes or at meganwaldrep.com/newsletter. So make sure that you're following this show so you don't miss the rebrand launch on January 7th, because we've got beautiful conversations ahead. And for the final send-off, thank you for listening. With love and POCF pride always. I'll see you next week for our next adventure together. Until then.